Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the D2 Nation podcast. I'm your host, Wayne Cavadi, and joining me, as always, is the best co-host in D2 sports, Bethany Bowman. First, congratulations, partner. Your Chiefs pulled off a ridiculous win yesterday, probably one of the most memorable weekends of football, but it was former West Alabama D2 football wide receiver Tyreek Hill who went off with 150 yards and that huge touchdown. Does it feel good to be able to breathe again?
Yeah, I wish you guys could have seen me last night. I was absolutely rattled. I thought we were going to lose. I mean, I think everybody in the country did, down with 13 seconds to go. But yeah, I'm super excited the Chiefs got to win.
Yeah. Well, you can't have all the fun. As we all know, it is my favorite time of the year. It's the D2 baseball season. The season is upon us. We're a couple weeks away. And today my preseason Power 10 came out, Bethany.
Yeah, super exciting. And yes, indeed, we can't be thinking about football all the time. Baseball is exciting and it's just getting ready to start. And it's hard to believe that it's almost here. Now, while defending national champion Wingate tops your preseason Power 10, we're going a little different direction with our first baseball guest of the season. Joining us today from number 3, Colorado Mesa Mavericks, is your defending NCAA.com player of the year, Haydn McGeary and Spencer Bramwell. Welcome to the nation, gentlemen.
Thanks, John.
Well, we're excited that you're here. I do want to say that I'm not much of a hat guy, but just to make you guys feel a little comfortable
There we go.
for a little bit. So obviously there's so much success in the Mavericks program, right? And you've had so much over the year. It's funny, before we jumped on, we were talking about how Hayden, you're from Arizona, and Spencer, you're from Southern California, and one of your first days you had to shovel snow at Colorado Mesa. I'm sure that wasn't the deciding factor that brought you both to play baseball here. So Hayden, we'll start with you and then we'll go to Spencer. Hayden, what brought you to Colorado Mesa originally?
Obviously it was baseball. So I went on a visit my senior year of high school. And I fell in love instantly. The facilities, the people, the coaching staff. I was funny. I sent a Snapchat to my buddy as we're sitting in the airport getting ready to leave Grand Junction, and I hadn't made any official decision. And I was like, I'm going to come here in the fall. And he was like, no way. And I was like, yeah, like, this is where I want to be. Like, this is the place. Like, the success, the growth the school is planning and is executing now is insane. So it was something I wanted to be a part of then, and I'm happy to be a part of now.
And Spencer, how about you?
Pretty much the same. I came on a visit in the fall of my senior year. Visit went well. Loved the facilities, loved the area. I'm a big snowboarder, so having the Rocky Mountains right there was a real big deciding factor for me. But the culture the coaches created and the family atmosphere, like leaving this place, the feeling I had on the plane, it was hard to turn away from. And it was the first visit I took and the only visit I needed. I called Coach Hanks pretty shortly after that and committed.
Minus the shortened 2020 season, Colorado Mesa has won more than 40 games every year for the past 8 years. And while it hasn't turned into a championship just yet, there have been 3 very deep runs in the tournament over that span. That's an unbelievable run, and it goes back, I think, to Coach Chris Hanks. Spencer, what makes Coach so special to play for?
I would say his attention to detail and everything. Off the field, he's like your best friend. All the coaches are. They really create a family environment, and it's really easy to play for him and go to war for him every day. But on the field, every little thing we do at practice has so much detail involved and really focusing on perfection. And I think that carries over to our gameplay and translates to our good record.
Yeah, it's a remarkable run when you look at all those wins. And it's not easy out there in the RMAC with all those offenses and everything. It's no easy task. But obviously, it goes without saying, with all those wins, the goal for Colorado Mesa is carry North Carolina every year. And that road starts for you guys February 10th. 4 games against Azusa Pacific, who's nationally ranked, and then 4 games against Northwest Nazarene, who made it to carry last year. Hayden, does that make opening day that much more exciting, knowing that that's your first, out non-conference schedule? And what are your expectations for those first few games?
Yeah, it's super exciting. With COVID and stuff affecting even last season, we were unable to play out of conference. So it's kind of exciting to see talent and skill, and even when we went to the regional, we faced UCCS. So, get to play somebody else, go somewhere else, be in a different part of the country is super exciting. And then, just the talent that both those teams bring is going to be a good test for us early, and it'll be a good measuring stick for us, what we need to do to get to the end of the year.
Do you guys pay attention to poll? You're so veteran at this point that polls, especially this early in the season, probably don't mean too much to you. But looking around, your number ranked 3, 4, 2. You're top 5 wherever you look. I guess to both of you, is that something that kind of motivates you, or are you just like the focus is the end?
Yeah,
I would say the focus is the end. I mean, we see all that stuff. We look at it. It's cool to see, but at the end of the day, once you get to the postseason, you're 0-0. Record doesn't matter. Ranking doesn't matter. Just kind of got to go to war and win the game. So, I mean, being 1, 2, 3, 4 in the nation, it's cool to see. It's cool to put on social media, but really at the end of the day, we just want to go win ball games.
Yeah.
Well, he does it for the clout, obviously. So you're both catchers by position. This pitching staff will have a new look this year. Spencer, let's start with you. What do you think about this year's staff, and who should we be watching?
This year's staff, I think we got a lot more depth than we have in the past couple of years. We don't really have a defined starting rotation just yet, but the depth we added to the bullpen is going to take some wear and tear off the guys that we've been depending on the past couple of years. And I think developing that early in the season is really going to help us down the stretch. Having a lot more healthy arms, stronger arms, I think it's just going to help us. I'd say guys to watch. Ryan Day, he had a pretty strong season last year. He's kind of continuing that through our fall and the spring. And then we had a few young guys come on. Cole Seward, I mean, he's nasty. Isaac Kane had a breakout fall. He's pitched a few times over a couple of years, had a few Sunday starts. So I think he's going to be a big guy in our rotation going forward.
Yeah. It must be exciting kind of when you have new face, especially as the catcher, right? You get to work with them. Hayden, I know you're a catcher by nature, but they got to get your bat in anyway. So you'll DH too sometimes, but working with young pitchers, Andrew Morris was a freshman and was incredible. Like that must be exciting for both of you, right? When you get to catch them.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the better they are, the more fun it is to catch. So having guys come out of the bullpen or starting the game, guy after guys, top tier stuff. It's fun to catch.
Yeah. Let's geek out a little bit on baseball. Hayden, obviously the numbers you put up the last few years, reigning National Player of the Year. You're one of the most feared hitters in D2. Let's talk a little bit about your approach at the plate. I think you had 20 home runs and you only 20 strikeouts. Like that's remarkable, right? So what are you looking for? What's the ideal spot that you like hitting in the batting order? What kind of pitch, obviously the sitting dead red is everybody's answer, but what are the kind of pitches are you comfortable going after?
I don't really like to, I like to be good at hitting all pitches. I feel like that's the best. I don't really like to have, pitch that certain staff can sit on and be like, oh, we can't hit this. And, if that starts to be the word around, the conference or whatever, then I, work on making it not that way. But definitely just looking for something to do damage. I approach as middle of the field, gap to gap. And I think the numbers show that with the doubles and the home runs. So just kind of hit the ball hard and hopefully they're not standing where they're not standing there. So, but yeah, it's real simple.
And was that you don't really see, by this time in college baseball, 4th, 5th year of college baseball, you have your home run hitters and then you have your average hitters, and the blend that you have, like this perfect balance, is very rare. Has that always been the case for you, even back in high school? Were you that like you said, gap to gap and over the fence powered type of hitter?
Yeah, the guy I worked with a lot in high school, John Finn, that was his approach. Even before, I got strong enough to, hit home runs. It was, people aren't standing in left center, right center, so let's hit the ball there. Let's work to stay, up the middle as best as we can. And, it gives you room to miss, so if you're a little late, you're going to go right center, you're a little early, you'll go left center, left field. So, just kind of missing in the middle of the field or aiming for the middle of the field and you're able to miss, to one side or the other, kind of gives you the approach that leads to a lot more hits, I think.
Yeah, it seems to work. and Spencer, I mean, you do great. You hit over 350 last year, right? Like you have a very good approach at the plate. So just talk about, what goes through your mind when you get up there and see a pitcher.
Like Hayden, I like to keep it real simple. Middle of the field, gap to gap, do damage. I mean, I'm out there hunting the fastball. I was told at a pretty young age, best way to hit the curveball is hit the fastball. So kind of stuck with that approach. We're a line drive hitting program. We like to get on top of the ball, do damage, and the home runs and doubles are going to happen. So just keeping everything simple and short through the zone is really the approach at the plate.
It's working.
For both of you guys, I was a former D2 student athlete, and when I wasn't competing though, I like to spend a lot of time out at the baseball diamond and really notice just how close I felt like our guys were and our team was in the dugout. What makes being a D2 student athlete so special to you guys?
I mean, I would say the opportunity to kind of break stereotypes. A lot of times D2, D3 guys are overlooked. So just having the ability to go out there and prove people wrong, I feel like makes our team a little bit closer because we're all kind of fighting for the same thing and fighting to get on the map. So, I mean, there's elite guys at every level, but just the chance to prove that D2 and D3 guys can hang with the D1 guys. I think that's something that kind of makes D2 athletes stand out.
I like that answer. We haven't had that answer. I really like that one. Hayden, how about you?
I agree with Spencer. I think, I think all of us up and down this roster could play at the Division I level. And I think us being here at the, D2 level, competing year in and year out for a D2 championship is special. And I think we're, like Spencer said, there's talent at every level, there's stars at every level. And, getting to prove that is really a lot of fun, and getting to, kind of play with that chip on your shoulder. Like, I'm a D2 athlete, but let me show you what I can do is definitely something that drives a lot of us on this team.
Yeah. And we've had Josiah Gray from Lemoyne, who was D2, and he's now in the Washington Nationals, and he was on the show. And Bethany, you remember he talked about that chip on his shoulder too. And it was always something to prove because not everybody knows there's talent on every level. I know I get to write about it on D2 level, so I get to see you guys all the time, and I think you guys do a good job of being those representatives and bringing a game and just being good competitors about it. But sorry to break the news to you guys, but that was the easy part of the show. Now is when the hard part begins and the real fun begins. We're going to see how much you two know about each other. You've been playing together for 4 years now. Here's how it works. This is the D2 Nation Hot Seat match game. We're going to ask you a question. You write down your answer on the piece of paper in front of you. And then Spencer will ask you what you think Hayden wrote down. And then Hayden will ask you what you think Spencer wrote down. And we'll see how well you know each other off the field as you do on the field. All right. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. So Bethany's going to start you off.
Yeah, we're starting out easy as usual. Who's your favorite baseball player?
Okay, and while they write down their answers, let's go over Hayden's stats. We've been talking about his hitting. Last year, he hit 481 with 26 doubles, 20 home runs, and he only struck out 20 times. He is a walking hit machine to the gaps, apparently, as we just learned. All right, Hayden is still writing.
Give us a thumbs up when you're both done. How about that? We haven't done that yet, Wayne.
Yeah, I like it. All right, Spencer, who did Hayden write?
Paul Goldschmidt.
Hold it up.
That was my answer for a long time. I don't know if you can see it. Nick Castellanos. It just changed. It was pretty recent that changed.
Wow.
So
you're an Arizona guy. Was it because he left Arizona? Is that what made the change?
Yeah. And I think I like Nick Castellanos just because I feel like similar hitters. I like to watch him swing. So
yeah. And then Hayden, who's Spencer's?
Mike Trout.
Boom, we got a match.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, what song or artist are you listening to pregame to get you hyped up?
While they write those answers, I'm going to give you a little bit of Spencer's stats. Spencer hit 357 with a career high 10 home runs, added 12 doubles, and for his career, he is now a 354 hitter with an impressive 1.023 OPS.
You know what's interesting about this question, Bethany? We ask it a lot, but now we have baseball players. We have walk-up songs to contend with too. So not only do they have
yeah, we should change it for sure to what's your walk-up song? Well, but they would know that very easily. So
yeah, that would be easy. All right, so Spencer, what's Hayden listening to?
Let me go something heavy metal. I don't know.
Not
Metallica out there.
What do you got?
Drake.
Drake.
Just
What's your walk-up song? Do you have a walk-up song?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I have to look. Remember,
Look.
we haven't submitted them yet, so I'm
How do
still.
you not know yours?
Do you
I
change
wrote
it? Yeah.
I wrote it down. It's "Let Me Blow Your Mind" by Eve.
Okay.
So
Okay.
And then Hayden, what's Spencer's?
I'm gonna have to say the same thing, like a rock, maybe AC/DC.
Rihanna.
This question brings out the most stunning answers from people that they had no idea what their friends listened to.
Yeah.
What's
Wait,
your
wait,
walk-up
wait.
song?
Desperado by Rihanna.
Nice.
I
I love
am not gonna let you leave this call without giving us a song.
it. We got it.
All right,
So,
so next one is, what is your favorite binge-worthy television show?
and while they're writing, we have been talking about Colorado Mesa's insane run the past 8-9 years. So check this out, Bethany. The Mavericks have won 385 games since 2013. That's 43 wins a year. And like we said, there's been deep runs, right? They reached the title game in both 2014 and 19, and then the semifinals in 2017. So this is just a powerhouse program that needs that one more big win it's been close so many times. But all right, I see the pens are down. Spencer, we'll start with you. What did Hayden write down?
Big Bang Theory.
Oh no, close. Mine's New Girl.
No, nice.
I think I've watched that show probably 6 times through on Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what's Spencer watching?
I remember him talking about it one time. Cobra Kai.
Yes.
No.
Moved on.
Yellowstone.
Okay.
But did you like Cobra Kai?
I did.
Yeah. Have you caught up season 4?
Yeah, I watched it all.
Yeah, it lasts a day. I can't. I sit there and I'm done with it in one day. It's so addictive. So okay. Next question is, oh well, this has to be a good one for these guys. What's the best baseball movie of all time?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And I'll read some other info about Colorado Mesa this year. Came in at number 3 in your preseason poll, and joining the Mavericks are Wingate, Tampa, Angelo State, and Minnesota State in the top 5. That's 2 teams in Angelo State and Mesa that are in the same region.
Yeah, South Central is
Not easy.
all right. Pens are down. Spencer, what is Hayden's favorite baseball movie of all time?
I'm gonna go The Sandlot.
The Field of Dreams.
And what's Spencer's?
Angels in the Outfield, just because he's a SoCal guy.
Bull Durham. Just for a point of reference, mine is The Sandlot. So I would have been a match on that. Beth, you don't have a favorite baseball movie, do you? Yours is Remember the Titans. I know that.
No, I have a favorite baseball movie. It's Moneyball.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that. You did say
Good
that.
one.
All right, Bethany, next question.
What's your favorite food?
Bethany, what's your favorite food? While they answer.
I don't discriminate. I like all food. It's hard. Pasta, Mexican, burgers, it's all good. So I don't really have a favorite. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, Hayden, what is Spencer's answer?
I know he likes steak. He's always eating steak. So that's my answer.
Seafood.
Okay.
With a
Hayden's
fillet.
going sushi.
Seafood with the fillet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is Hayden's answer?
Sushi.
Oh, I said pizza.
No shot.
I had pizza tonight.
There you go.
All right, this is the last question. I bet you guys know about this because I'm sure you've vented before. Which opposing RMAC stadium is your least favorite to hit in? That you struggle the most in?
They never struggle, obviously.
I know. I was going to say for a guy hitting over 350,
Not with those numbers.
480. All right. Pens are down. Spencer, what is Hayden's least favorite ballpark to have success in?
I'm gonna go Regis.
I said CCU. I've never actually played there, but I've heard horrible things from the guys that have. So I guess, I don't know.
It's hard to hit there. And then what about Spencer?
I would say Springs.
Colorado Christian.
Oh, I see.
No success there, huh?
Not at all.
All right, well, you did well. Hopefully you had a little fun there to close out the show. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for being on. And obviously, get some rest and get ready, and good luck February 10th, and obviously on that non-conference schedule. And we thank you for joining the show today.
Thanks for having
Thank you.
Wayne, they didn't hit it out of the park on the match game, but they definitely do so on the field, so it's all right.
Yeah, very punny. I liked where you went there. Remember, D2 Nation, you can catch us anywhere you listen to podcasts. So check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and like we said, anywhere in the podcast universe. Give us a follow here and on Twitter, and we'll see you next week on the D2 Nation.